almost nobody. So I slept, what, 3.5 hours? Because it took a while to do everything I had to do. Oh, running a bit late, but hopefully I can catch up. It's a bit rainy, so I'm not sure how they're going to shoot outside. But it's fine. They just said not to come with wet hair. My hair didn't really dry during the night, and the rain is definitely not helping. But honestly, I don't care. I just don't care. I just realized that my holding for today is very much close to my acting school. So it's like coming back home. The only problem is that at this time in the morning, the neighborhood will be full of junkies, and I'm a bit terrified by them. But it's okay. I can make it. It's just a couple blocks from the subway, so hopefully no one will stab me with a needle with some disease. That's my fear number 15,686. Welcome to my head. Finally, the train is here. It's late. Well, Snickers are mine for now.
You know, I use the roll, you know, the yoga roll. Oh yeah. But I got the small one. So it's like,
All my empty pads should be across the street.
Do it.
All my empty pads. Except you.
They're calling us.
Not for you.
It's like a little big thing.
yeah.
Just pop out the two towers.
I have like 2 tiers of knowledge. We moved out of York. We may be going back there because it's a show that moved in. So they were I thought, you know, some of the guys are here.
Okay, look number 2. Scientist baby. Okay, which sign would you like to have today?
I would make no standing towards the corner.
No standing.
Don't know. I mean, there might be a scene or two where it is, but
They're looking this way.
This one is our old one. My God, my poor feet are dying in these. So uncomfortable and so honestly ugly. how did women walk in them back in the 90s. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. And what do you have in your windows? Dear anyone? Our period cars. Setting up the camera.
About anything? Well, that's what it should be. They didn't even give us what pay because they said they didn't. Whatever. Yeah, it's all there. No, because I'm gonna go home. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. We'll probably get there at the same time though when you go. Are you?
You know, I deliberately didn't open the news in the morning so I could work this day normally. Then, by the end of the day, while we were traveling from one set to another on the bus, it was around 11 p.m. in Ukraine. I texted my mom how she was, and it turned out she was in the bathroom hiding because when there is a bombing happening, this is the safest place. The rule of two walls, a bathtub can save your life. And then when I came home, I opened the news. Jesus fucking Christ. I just... So many residential buildings. Residential fucking buildings. Not military objects, where people sleep. Were hit. One was especially terrible. It was hit with a ballistic missile. It was the whole building that was like 10 floors or 16, I don't remember. I think 10, because this is like the standard for Ukraine. Not 10, 9, 16. It's destroyed to the basement. The worst thing was that first, one story especially broke my heart. There was a couple, parents of a guy who lived in that building, waiting to see if he's alive, while the rescuers were looking for people, with dogs and so and they were standing there hoping, praying. He didn't make it. How many of these stories happened this night? And I don't know, in this fucking world, it's going on like nothing is happening. compared to this, everything is so little. Just nothing, really. I just wonder, how can someone first give an order to fire a ballistic missile in a residential building and somebody else to actually execute such an order? How? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I so don't get it. I don't think I will ever be able to comprehend all of this. It's so devastating. Other than that, it was a fun day. My feet were killed today, as feet of every other woman on set, because those shoes from the 90s, they were so brutal. I feel like with the shoes, they should have given away boxes of Band-Aids. I am so happy that I have a week to recover after this shoot. Because second day is next week. Because I got blisters in places where I never got them before. I never had them before. Oh God. Well, it is what it is, right? And this is my life today. Fun day. Devastating news. And at the same time, I'm watching them, and I'm very grateful that nobody I know lived in that building or any other building that was destroyed. But it is so hard to breathe. So freaking hard to breathe. I feel like I should sleep half of the day tomorrow. So this all just becomes a nightmare. Our second holding today was Ukrainian National Home in New York. I went to the restaurant that they have, Ukrainian restaurant they have on the first floor. I've been there a couple of times, but I've never went upstairs. And today I did. And there was a flag, Ukrainian flag, like on a display. signed by soldiers of one of, I'm sorry, I don't know English for all those like military units from the worst part of Ukraine where the war is happening, from the eastern Ukraine, like Bakhmut, like those cities there, cities, towns. It's like that's where the hell on earth was and is. I think it was a brigade, but I might be mistaken. I wonder how many of those soldiers are still alive. Kind of froze by it when I saw it. Okay. This is today. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. And if anybody's thinking that Russia's getting weaker, no, they're shooting at Ukraine much more drones and missiles than they used to, like in 2022, when they apparently were supposed to have more than now. Their economy is now military, so they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and people will eat everything. People have no will. People are frightened. They will accept everything unless real famine starts. Other than that, if they personally are not affected or are not affected enough, nothing will happen inside of that country. Nothing. They really have to be very much fed up to do something about it. And you know, the level of this fed up is a very wide definition, has a very wide definition, because people thought that when they lose 100,000 soldiers at this war, people will start asking questions and protesting and doing something inside of the country. Nope. The next step was people thought, analytics, they thought that if they lose 500,000 soldiers at war, then they will ask questions. Nope. Then people thought if they lose 1 million soldiers, nope, no questions were asked. I honestly don't know how far they have to go, how many more people they have to lose to start asking questions. And the way they treat each other, those soldiers, my God, honestly, I don't even know why I watch those videos, but this is terrifying. Those Russian soldiers who don't want to become part of the so-called meat grinder, because that's what Russian army does to their troops. They just send them to die. So those who deny doing that, they are being basically tortured and killed by their own gosh, what should I call it? Like that military unit where they are. They bury them alive. I've seen that. It's like that's like opens your eyes like this. Maybe that's also why I can't sleep after that, because when you start watching something like that, you're just like, no, this can't be true. No, this can't be true. This can't be happening. But it is happening. Or they put them, so they dig a hole in the ground enough to fit 2 people. And I know that this is what they do because our prisoners of war told them about this, that this is what they do. They put you there naked and you pray not to lose your mind. But with Russian soldiers, what they do, they make them fight each other with their bare arms. The fight has to be fatal for one of them, and the survivor gets out of this hole. Can you imagine that? 21st century. And people are doing this to each other. Humanity is dead. What is it? Who is it? Trump and Musk, right? They want to colonize Mars. Can they take like themselves and all of those fucking monsters with them and colonize it as long as you can and leave normal people here? We'll come up with a way to recover Earth, ecology, and so on. On a different note, don't you have an impression that this orange motherfucker has this I feel like sometimes he wants to behave like a dog, you know, to have this ability to mark the territory like a dog, just to pee in Canada and mark its territory as his, to pee in Greenland and mark this territory as his, to pee in Gulf of Mexico and mark this territory as his, and well, to pee on Mars and mark this territory as his. Yeah. Mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing. Oh, okay. I should go to bed. I want this day to be over. I'd better fall asleep so I don't see or read anything else that will just blow my mind again over and over and over again. You know, it's like sometimes I think that I've seen everything. Nothing can shock me anymore. Like really, I've seen everything. I remember even the moment when I went numb. I've seen the torture. I've seen executions. I've seen that. And yeah, and you would think like, turn it off. Like, why are you even watching this? Like, no, try turning it off. I even talked to my therapist about it. Like, why can't I turn it off? And he said that it's because your psyche reacts in a way that it thinks that you need to see this to survive. You need to know what can happen so you can avoid it, so you can survive. That's why you just freeze. And it's like you feel everything. The first time I saw it, I literally felt like drops of sweat coming out through my pores on my temples. Never ever had I experienced like anything like that. I'm not a sweaty person. I felt temperature of my body rising like in cartoons. If you remember all those old cartoons when they show a thermometer and the red liquid just goes like to the top, that's what I felt. I felt my heart beat like crazy. I felt it beating even in my temples. It's literally like someone is doing this with a hammer on your head. And you're just like, you can't stop watching this. It's just like, for some weird reason, I need it. Gosh, I'm so fucked up. My psyche is so fucked up. It's like never ever will I have normal reaction to anything. Because now really, I can hear about something very, very tragic happen and be like, oh well, this is sad. But feel honestly like nothing. And then something like little can happen and I will be just torn into pieces. Today is that rare moment when devastating thing happened and I had the appropriate reaction to it. That's weird these days. It doesn't often happen to me. But my God. Like, I'm thinking right now, will those motherfuckers haunt the bus station from which my mom has to leave? Because they do. That's what they do. When my dad left, so later we learned that like 20 minutes later, a drone landed there. Like landed. You know what I mean by landed. It's like either they drop something that explodes or they send the one that explodes itself. Oh gosh. I guess these questions will never have an answer. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me. It's very important that there is someone who can listen to you. So thank you, I appreciate you. I hope you had a much better Tuesday. I hope you have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.